The rule, per usual, is
no cursing.
No hate.
No. Oh, that's hard.
I know. I know.
Start drinking these and the hate comes out.
Really?
No.
They make me so happy.
No hate. Yes. Light on the hate.
Welcome back to Good Taste Podcast. I'm Chris Bedford, back with Daniel Turner.
Good to see you all. Hello.
It's a rainy Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
And it's probably 55 degrees outside.
No one's jumping in a pool.
If you are anywhere between where I just left last night, Dallas, Fort Worth, and Washington, D.C., up north to Boston, if you're at the beach, you're a lunatic.
Yeah.
You lost a bet. You're hammered with your boys.
Yeah.
If you're a parent on the water who rented a nice house for Memorial Day weekend with your kids, you're going to have a very different experience than you expected. You're going to be going to movie theaters. You're going to be turning on screens. Doesn't matter how good a parent you are. You're going to be going to restaurants that you may have intended not to avoid. And you're probably going to be helped by a cocktail, which is from a region of the world where your chances of having a miserable, rainy, cold Memorial Day are like 50%.
There you go.
Cape Cod.
Cape Cod. And region you know very well, having grown up in the area.
The Cape Codder, perfect for a rainy day. Perfect for, all right, the kids are on me. Perfect for, the wife's on me, and I don't want her to know I'm drinking a glass that's half vodka.
Yeah.
They will catch on eventually, but at first, they're like, oh, it's juice.
It's perfect for a sunny day. It's perfect for a crappy day. It's perfect if your father dies in the summer and you need a cocktail at the wake. Yeah. The Cape Codder can be anything you want it to be. It's the St. Paul of cocktails. You know, it's all things to all people. What I like about this is there's no lime. There's nothing sparkling. There's no ginger ale. It's very complicated drink.
It was literally invented 80 years ago by Ocean Spray Company.
Perfect.
So it's not going to be as good if you get a fountain cranberry juice at the bar. It's not going to be as good if you get a little gas station too sweet of a cranberry juice. It's not going to be good if you try to go too authentic and get like the authentic refrigerate me from before I'm open cranberry juice. Too tart. You need it with Ocean Spray. Yeah.
And it's hard to find cranberry juice because everything now is cranberry juice cocktail, which means it has a boatload of sugar and it is more palatable to drink. But if you want a cocktail that has cranberry, you can't have the cocktail. It's just way too sugary.
And you got to be careful too, because I do the hobo mix,
Cheers.
50-50. But they'll get you.
Tastes like vodka cranberry.
If you taste just like cranberry, you've made it wrong.
Yeah.
And don't worry, actually, it's not complicated. It's not like a martini. You got to reshake it.
Yeah.
Just add more vodka. If it tastes too much like vodka, add some cranberry.
Yeah.
Or wait a minute for the ice to come. Now, this was originally called the Red Devil, which is a weird name. It's basically somebody just trying to come up with
something kitschy for
things to put
name.
on the back of cranberry juice to make people buy more cranberry juice. And the 60s, they changed it to a Cape Codder. And both of these, you might notice, are ways to appear sophisticated at the airport when you want a vodka cranberry.
Did you ever see like we talk a lot on our friend thread about what we see at airports. I'm always fascinated by people's early morning cocktail drink. Like I've had an 8 a.m. beer at the airport. It's fine. Sometimes you'll see like a guy like, can I get a glass of Merlot? I'm like, it's 8:15 in the morning. Like I always get a kick out of what people order for their airport cocktail or their takeoff cocktail. Everyone gets the Bloody Mary. For some reason, everyone, not even a Bloody Mary, just tomato juice. People get on a plane and suddenly everyone drinks tomato juice. Never understood it. But it is always curious to see someone, it's, again, the early morning flight to Dallas. It leaves Reagan at 8.
That guy who's in like a ruffled suit that is completely wrinkled, who settles up and asks for a triple vodka tequila or something. It's like, whoa.
Can I get 2 little bottles
you poor
of this?
Son of a gun.
And the Coke on the side. Cup of ice. Can I get 2 bottles of bourbon? It's usually little Woodfords.
That's on the plane.
And a thing of 7 ginger ale. And
ginger ale's better at altitude.
He'll just dump it and then just drink it and leave the ginger ales in there.
We discussed this with the Secretary of Transportation, Duffy. Ginger ale is better at altitude.
Something about the pressure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like it.
I always drink ginger ale on planes. But yeah, I get a kick out of people's cocktails. So this is a good cocktail and you do feel bad for the amount of people who are going away for the weekend. We have a bunch of friends who have houses in Annapolis, and if you got your shorts busted out and you're thinking about getting crabs, like this is not a weekend you're going to be sitting outside.
So here's the deal. I'm getting crabs today.
You can still get them, do it in the
today.
house. Yeah. Your house will stink a little bit, but
Sarah was a little surprised, but happy when she said, well, what are you going to do? I'm like, oh, I'll pick up the kids from school. I'm going to get some crabs. She's like, oh, we're still doing that?
yeah.
And she's doing crab cake. She's got a rule, which I actually think is a reasonable rule. I don't like to eat food that still looks like it did when it was alive.
Okay.
So like pork chop, fine. Pig roast, not so much.
Okay.
Crab cake, fine. Peel open the
crab
head, rip
itself.
open the claws,
Yeah.
less so.
A little less. Okay.
And that's fine by me.
Yeah. As long as she eats it, you know.
But another thing about Cape Cod. This is another thing I was thinking about this morning. The main reason I chose this drink is because I felt like one this morning. Because I got in from the airport at 1 a.m.
Last night.
Yeah.
Ooh, if you're a little tired.
This morning, I'm a little beat up.
Yeah.
I was asleep at 2 because you're wide awake when
Yeah.
you finally. And I didn't think I was going to make it. I traveled the whole storm system from Dallas to DC, and this morning I just was thinking, all right, I'm going into the city. No one's in the city. It's a 3-day weekend in DC, which means people leave midway through the day on Thursday and don't come back. So who's going to stop us from drinking Cape Codders in the morning? But who's going to stop them? Cape Cod is the home of the original Not in My Backyards.
Yeah.
And I am totally with them. The NIMBYs, not in my backyard, completely. Unless I'm the person in your backyard. Then I'm like, yes, in your backyard. I was completely selfish in all those ways. Now you see the stuff, the rich liberals and the rich everyone, and the poor everyone is realizing these data centers are really screwing things up.
Mm-hmm.
The upstate New Yorkers and places that used to be beautiful mushroom farmland that are like rainy 70% of the time are wondering why their farmland is now solar panels that do nothing. And it all started with Ted Kennedy and the guys down in Cape Cod saying, we are here for green energy. We need to sustain ourselves. We cannot be buying oil except from Venezuela. And then they try to put up windmills off Cape Cod Sound, which is historic, beautiful. You can't protect it like as a maritime park because it's an actual fishery. It sustains the whole region. And they were going to put these freaking windmills in.
And he fought it tooth and nail.
It's amazing. Yeah. It was heroic. And I was totally with him for that.
Yeah.
And all the conservatives were like, well, look at this hypocrite. Me? I was like, yeah, get them out. Get them out. Win's a win.
We support green energy, just not on our views of the ocean. It was just
if it's
like
my
flat
view,
out.
Put that in Block Island.
Well, that's where
Give
they
it
did
to the
build
New
them.
Yorkers.
That's where they did build a big one in Block Island. There's a new thing from NIMBY now, which is not in my backyard. The more aggressive one is banana, and I'm going to get it wrong, but it's build absolutely nothing. Build absolutely nowhere near people. It's like build absolutely nothing around nobody. Like it's
anywhere
just
near
nothing.
anyone.
Yeah, anywhere near anyone. I forget the acronym, but that's the new, like, more intense one. Like just no building it. And the data centers, I get it. I'm on both sides of this aisle. I understand the need for them. This podcast will be sent to us and clipped because of data centers, right? And not so much AI, but just the amount of data we have in the cloud. I did Tim Pool's podcast last week, and big podcast, right? He likes to make Timcast. He likes to make his own music, and he uses it AI. He uploads little soundtracks of things that he writes on a keyboard, and he turns it, and he's really good at it. But then we were talking about.
I would have hated this guy in high school. Skateboarding, DJing.
It's not my type of music, but it's definitely talented.
He definitely wore Jenkos, right?
But I don't know.
For sure.
But then he was talking about AI and data centers. I was like, well, that's data centers, right? Like your music that you just created, the amount of servers that are spinning and whirring in real time to take 4 bars and 30 seconds later give it an entire song. That is like we're creating the data center need, and that we have to recognize. Like wind and solar are just crap. They don't work. They're expensive. They're forced on us by the environmental left. This is clearly my wheelhouse if you know anything about me. But AI and data centers, we are driving. The amount of people who don't write their amount of high school kids who won't write their papers without AI, which is illegal and wrong, but they use AI to write their papers. The amount of people who, write speeches. You and I both write a lot for a living. One of the top editors at one of the most important publications, I asked her this question, and she was like, almost half at this point of what I get is AI, so much so that we use AI to determine if it was written by AI. She's like, I have people who are prominent names who will say, hey, Chris Bedford, can I write an op-ed on X on Ocean Spray? And 10 minutes later, I get this junk of AI. And so we are driving the AI data center. Do I want them built everywhere? Of course not. But it's our consumer choices,
it's going to end soon.
Consumer habits. That was our topic last week.
Yeah, changing consumer habits. I think we're going to have a change in. I think that we're living in the golden age of free AI. Is my theory. We're living in the Napster age. Like, were you in the country during Napster?
I remember Napster. Yeah,
where you could just any song you wanted from anywhere, and any time. It could be the most obscure punk rock album, and you could find it and you could download it for free. And it was widely available and widely used. And then before you knew it, fast forward a few years, half those songs are not even available. You can't stream this. You can't stream that. Every single thing you want to do, it takes a different service that costs different amounts of money.
Yeah.
I just canceled after years my YouTube Premium subscription because it went up to $17 a month.
Yeah.
Like that price tag originally shocked me when Disney Plus charged it for the entire catalog that they made themselves.
Yeah.
Like, YouTube's not even making this stuff.
No,
They're just putting it out there. I understand I have to pay people. But
the exclusivity thing is fascinating because when you think of when Netflix started some 20 years ago, right? It was mailing you DVDs.
And they had every DVD.
And they had every single movie imaginable, and it was 99 cents and the little envelopes. And obviously it put Blockbuster out of business, but like, this is the greatest thing in the world. Now Netflix is mostly their own content, and movies that you want to watch, they're like, sorry, it's not available. Or it's not available unless you pay the premium Netflix.
I canceled mine.
And you're like, well, what's the point of Netflix? So you're absolutely right. Like, Napster opened all the world's music to everybody, and then within 2 years it was shut down, that now you can't find it anymore.
AI is going to be like this.
AI will do the same.
Because right now it's free.
Tech companies make money on exclusivity. And content curation and control. They're not going to let you have it for free forever.
And like, already Grok doesn't work. I was an early Grok user, and unless you pay for Grok Premium, which I don't, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Most times, if you wanted to do it at like 9 a.m. on Saturday morning, you could probably get it working. We're gonna look back and be like, wow, when every single thing you have to do is ChatGPT, put in a quarter, put in $1, put in $1.99. This costs $50 a month. I think it'll actually be helpful because we're going to look around and people are going to realize, I'm going to be sitting there. You're going to have to file an expense report for how much you're cheating at your job.
Yeah.
And people are it's going to help make decisions because maybe it isn't actually cheaper to use AI than it is to have a person in this seat because AI is going to get more expensive.
Yeah.
And that'll help. And corporate policies are coming out. Like, we're working on our corporate policy right now. And it's not just, hey, you can't, here's what's a permissible use of AI. Here's what's an unethical use of AI. And by the way, we expect more productivity from you. Like, you can't maintain using AI, at least if you want to make the same amount of money. I can send half my money to Jeff Bezos and half of it to you if you want, but you have to figure that out.
I haven't seen anything in the creative side that I think doesn't feel like AI. Spencer Pratt's videos are very cool. They're funny. They're getting a ton of traction, but everyone can tell they're AI, right? And that's fine. He's embracing it. That's really cool. I've read and seen so much stuff that is pretending it is not, and I still think we're at the point. Maybe our children one day, when your daughter is our age, maybe she won't be able to tell the difference. But right now,
you can't in a nunnery. There's no screens.
Right now, AI feels like AI. AI movies, AI scripts, AI stories, AI. It does not feel like true human creation. And then it becomes boring.
It's soulless.
It becomes very soulless, and it becomes really dull. So unless you're going to do the Spencer Pratt model, which is like, hey, this is clearly a spoof, and it's quickly made and it's brilliantly executed, but like, it's not actors, it's not a studio, it's not a set. Embrace it. But otherwise, it's not. I don't think it's going to be this thing that I'm so afraid of either. I've talked to, I get into these data center questions a lot because of energy issues. And I try to remind people, go back to we are going back 30 years, but go back to the mid 90s when shows like Seinfeld would have jokes like, what is the internet? Like, I got to get this email thing. The amount of fear that we were talking about with the internet Of course, there are things on the internet I don't like, and there are downsides to it, but no one would say the internet has been overall a bad on the economy or on the society.
It's been really bad for society.
It's
been atrocious.
There are parts of it that are very bad, no doubt about it, like the screen addiction, etc. But that's not the internet.
Pornography, hate.
But that's uses of the internet, the ability to access information and send stuff, commerce, all of that stuff is very good. The idea that you don't have to call American Airlines, but you can change your flight on your app in 30 seconds.
That's true. That's true. It's changed my life in every way.
But there's but there are bad sides.
Nuke it, including the job I have for a living, with a button, if I could.
There are bad sides to it, no doubt.
I think
open
AI
is going to be the same.
And leave the city. If I could just go boop and everything is gone. Podcasts.
Oh man, what about our 7 followers? What are they going to do with tomorrow's episode?
Easily 18. I checked this morning.
I think AI is going to be very, very similar. We don't know what it is. The fear of the unknown. I saw Steve Moore made a great comment. I was at some dinner that he was at, and he reminded people that Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein, who wrote the book Frankenstein? Shelley, whatever. Was all based on fear of electricity, right? Like electricity was going to be this horrible thing, and when we have electricity, we're going to resurrect the dead. And electricity scared the crap out of people. People wouldn't get electricity in their houses because they thought it was going to. We've gotten over that fear.
I mean, early electricity was kind of a hazard.
Early internet was kind of a hazard, and early AI is kind of a hazard. But the human being is very resilient.
What about the changing weather patterns above? Like the clouds having a completely moving differently above data centers. I don't want to live near that.
I don't know if I believe any of that crap. I don't.
No?
There are things we should do to data centers, and I actually have to write, and we have to talk to our architect buddy to propose something serious to the president, because I think we have to come in heavy-handed on this. The solution to data centers, which I'm the only one I know who has thought of this, and I will.
New Mexico.
No, bury them. We've got to bury them. You tell Microsoft if they're going to buy this 400-acre campus to build a data center, rather than build it, they have to excavate a hole. They have to bury the whole damn thing and cover it, and you put a park on top of it, and you put basketball courts and baseball fields and children's playgrounds. It gets rid of the hum. It gets rid of the heat because they're underground, so so you don't use all the water. And now you've done something for the community. And
I thought the heat's generated from internally.
It's internally, and it's also generated from just baking in the sun. Like any building that sits in the sun is going to absorb
I like some
heat.
of that. Yeah, but it's not the sun. Like,
but
you don't need all the water of Utah because the sun is outside. You need that because of the heat generated by the process.
Absolutely, but you're going to need less of it if it's in an already temperature controlled area. And
you want the kids to play on top of it?
Why not? What the hell's the fear of playing on top of it?
I don't know yet.
No, nothing.
I don't know yet.
Again, that's just fear of electricity. I'm not afraid of electricity.
So when you're making a baby's bottle, because I know you're an energy guy.
Yeah.
What's your mix? Like a little bit of whole milk, a little bit of formula, a little bit of fracking liquid.
A little bit of fracking liquid.
It's harmless.
Yeah, and then a couple, I grind my coal powder really, really fine.
Yeah.
You know, the coal dust, and shake it all up. And
shake that up, and then
makes the babies
play
healthy.
at the data center basketball court.
Exactly. And the kids are going to be fine. I'm telling you, it is the best solution. The reason why people hate them as well is because they hum and they're ugly, and they're big, ugly boxes, and there's no incentive to make them pretty. They're not going to make them look like...
I don't know. I like that they hum and are ugly, because I like that this is one of the few things where people are looking up and being like, huh, that seems to have changed the way the rain falls.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And these are not like city people who are just out there, like people who live like ants in these disgusting, filthy hive cities like New York, who like go to West Virginia and tell them they're pollutants.
Yeah, well, those are the best.
Like, these are people who live in the middle of the country who are like, I've noticed a difference in the climate. I've been here for 80 years.
Well, they're building them there because they need, obviously, the land. They don't have to be built in cities because they can be built anywhere as long as you can get a transmission line to them. So once again, the people in the country are the attractive ones. My counter to that is, for the last couple of years of the previous administration and most of the Obama administration, we were going after these people for hundreds of thousands of acres of wind and solar, like you were just saying, either offshore, but sometimes wind and solar on land. And I never saw any of the pushback. You know, I saw some Native American group. Oh boy, this is the word. It starts getting ugly. I saw some Native American group pushing back on a data center.
I can't believe you used that term.
Because it was a 300-acre area and they were worried about like indigenous and sacred areas. And this is special to them and their people. And I was like, that's awesome. I understand that you're concerned about a sacred area.
I feel the same way about Cape Cod Sound.
You built a 100,000-acre wind farm down the block and there was not one sacred rock. Right, like none of these groups ever protest. There was no indigenous short-haired weasel that was at risk of a 4,000-acre solar farm down the road. But this 200-acre,
I bet they were.
And it's like, whoa, no. Because,
speaking of changing the weather,
all those climate groups are all full of crap.
Yeah,
they're all full of crap. They're all wicked, and they use native groups. They use any other groups for their agenda. So data centers are the newest thing that they're glomming on because people like you are naturally reluctant to embrace the tech community.
I hate technology.
As am I. You were never going to embrace. You were never going to embrace wind and solar, especially off the coast of Cape Cod.
No.
You never wanted someone to tell you how to drive an EV. You had to get rid of your gas leaf blower. You couldn't have a gas. All of that stuff. Your natural instincts were like, whoa. So the same tactics are now applied to data centers, and it's like, well, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And my point is, these are the same people. This is their newest tactic.
But I'll work with Ted Kennedy to stop the windmills. I'm just like,
these are the same people doing the same BS.
What's the Koch's favorite Samuel Douglas quote? I will work with any man to stop the progress of man.
Frederick Douglass.
Yeah.
Samuel. Who the hell's Samuel Douglas?
No idea.
Yeah. Samuel Adams. Maybe we're getting Sam Adams, Douglas MacArthur. The Sam MacArthur
I didn't
quote.
confuse Frederick Douglass with Samuel Jackson. And I don't like the implication that I did.
You can be opposed to data centers. You can be, and I keep saying data or data. I never know which. I have to choose one and stick with it.
Why not datum?
Datum centers. I don't know which way to pronounce it, and I keep going back and forth. I totally understand the reluctance. I'm concerned about the same thing everyone else is. I'm always pointing out that the same people driving this national campaign to stop them with the matching T-shirts and the placards and the buses
that show up. I don't trust anyone with matching T-shirts.
They are the same people who 2 weeks ago were telling you had to give up your gas engine for the climate. This is their newest tactic, and these people, you always have to be afraid of these people.
So I saw an activist with a printed T-shirt yesterday. I sat next to her on the airplane, and she got on the plane, and I don't like to talk to people on planes.
No.
I don't like to talk to people at the bar, at the airport bar. I don't want silence is my friend.
Barely like talking to you on this podcast.
It's tough. Yeah, that's why we drank. She had this T-shirt that was like somebody ripping a computer cord out, and it said Lust Busters, and it was like a Ghostbusters thing.
Lust Busters.
So I assumed,
like no anti-pornography.
That's kind of what I assumed it might be. So I was like, this is an interesting thing. And when I'm sitting next to someone who's interested in the plane or the train, I don't say anything to them until we're near landing. Because if you start talking in the beginning, what if they talk?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk. Just a moment. I'm just curious. So I asked her what it was. Turns out it's got nothing to do with internet pornography. It's got to do with leaking underground storage tanks at gas stations.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
She started this, I guess there's like 60 a year or so. They just rot out.
Huge problem. Just made up crap.
Her main thing, she's like flying back from the conference in Jackson Hole to Northern Virginia to go back to her home and family. And she's the executive director of an organization devoted to that. And it's
That's awesome.
And I was wondering, I wonder if that pays.
Yeah. I'm sure it does.
Probably.
I'm sure it does. And it's all funded by the same climate groups that do the same nonsense.
I bet it's funded by Exxon.
Ask her. See, I can't. And because this is when, I start getting into trouble because, this is what I work on for my life.
You don't get into trouble on energy. You get into trouble on a lot of subjects, Mr. Turner.
But on energy is when it gets, and this is why when I like testifying before Congress, which I always think I'm going to be more ballsy than I am, but then I ultimately become fairly deferential because I respect Congress, and they put themselves up on the high dais to create that, like, we are up here and you peon are down there. But I always want to have in the back of my head when someone asks me something to say, like, do you really want to play gotcha with me? Like, do you really think, like, you don't tell me climate change is real? I always want to fake, like, I've never thought of that, Congressman. Oh my, like, you've opened my eyes. Like, these people, they think they're going to play gotcha, and they can't because you become an expert in a certain area. If I was sitting next to this woman with her gas tank leaking T-shirt, my first question would be, do you really think the gas station owner that bought 80,000 gallons of gas at whatever price is going to let even a drop of it leak.
Yeah, the guy around the corner from me for sure.
Like
Ishmael and Ahmed.
no way
No
in hell. In hell. They're not going to, because it is so expensive and they are paying for it out of pocket. They only recuperate their costs when they sell it, right? And that's why gas prices are lagging indicators of oil prices, because when you build a gas station, right? Chris Bedford built a gas station and he puts these 40,000 gallon tanks. The first time he fills them up, he has to go out of pocket. So when the first car pulls up to fill up their gas tank, you are in the hole $100,000, and now you are selling all of that to recover and buy the next one, which you're out of pocket. You are always out of pocket, and little by little you start to you recuperate costs, and then you start to make money. But the first probably 2 years, you are just breaking even to pay off the building and buying these hundreds of thousands of gallons of gas. You're not going to lose an ounce of gasoline at the price you paid. And gas stations are privately held. It's not some big ugly corporation that I'm just the day manager. They are privately held by people who make a lot of money in the process. They are not going to lose a dime of gasoline. It's just a silly argument to think that they're allowed. I don't care about the environment. I'm pissing away thousands of gallons every day into the groundwater. No, they're not. They're just not, because they can't afford to. It's just a silly argument. So
imagine if you sat next to this lady.
I just
asked her if she could stop my wife from spilling gas. And she said, that sounds like it's more in your wheelhouse. I said, I'm powerless to stop it.
Yeah. That's why when I get on the plane, as soon as I sit down and I arrange my station, my noise canceling headphones, which look great when you have a big bald head like I do. I look like Princess Leia, right? With the first thing I do,
go with Moby.
The first thing I do is put on the noise, and I make it clear, like I'm not talking. I'm not even listening to you. My last flight, where the hell was I coming back from? It was Denver. It was a 6 a.m. flight, so early. Albuquerque to Dulles, 6 a.m. flight from Albuquerque, and the two people behind me were exactly what you said. They started talking. And then for 3 hours, you just hear 3 hours. At one point, I just wanted to turn around and be like, "Shut the hell up! Stop talking! No one needs to hear all."
Men don't talk on planes.
No one should talk on planes.
Men don't talk on planes.
Planes should be like libraries. Planes should be libraries.
On my way out to Dallas, it's a 2.5 hour flight. I was in the plane for 7 hours and 45 minutes because of that same storm system. We got on the plane. We took off 20 minutes before we landed in Dallas. They're like, "We're holding an hour. We don't remotely have that fuel. So we're going to hang out for 3 hours in the tarmac in Austin with no AC."
That's fun.
And the people next to me, they talked the whole time. One was like, "Yeah, I work with bankers. What do you do?" "Oh, I'm an FBI agent." "Oh, okay. Well, my environment's very sexist because I work with bankers." "Oh, mine too, because I'm a cop." I'm just sitting there like, this goes for 7 hours and 40. I say nothing. It's not like I'm not a lunatic. I'm not going to be like, "Shut up. Yeah. Everybody be quiet." I just sit there. And then on the way, I'm coming back. I'm trying to make my flight. It's getting delayed again and again. And I sat next to a woman at the bar who I think was probably 50% SSRIs at this point. She sits down. She's talking to this old man, this old black guy from St. Lucia, who's just kind of a wacko himself. So they hit it off perfectly. He's been there since 6 in the morning trying to get to Mississippi so he can drive to Alabama. I don't know. This convoluted. Whole bar had to hear their story, though. She asked him, "Have you ever gone hand gliding?" And he says, "What's that?"
That's a common question I ask people.
She says, "Yeah, you jump off a cliff with a kite." And he goes, "Nah, that's white people." Which is like totally true, by the way. It's like, you don't really hear about a lot of brothers getting killed hand gliding. Like, that's REI stuff. That's some wild stuff. And she goes, "That's exactly what I said to my wife. Because I'm not white." I'm looking at her like, news to me.
You're not?
It's the kind of thing you'd have to say.
Yeah.
Like, and she didn't just say it once. She said it like 4 times. And this old dude would just roll with it. There was no point. He was like, "What?" Like this. And then she was talking about like, "Yeah, I can't go to Barcelona." And the bartender goes, "I like Barcelona." She goes, "Well, they don't like gay people there." Pretty sure the bartender was gay too.
Yeah. And
I'm just sitting there going like
I'm getting in Barcelona, really?
Barcelona?
There's no gay. Wow,
they literally lisp the name. And this just keeps on going. And it never stops. She's like, my wife's getting a massage. I like the massage. You should go there. nonstop. Eventually, she finally leaves. All she drank was Fireball, which I respected.
Okay.
And the good old Texan sitting next to me goes, "Man, you don't have to go very far to see some weird stuff." And that was just the only response. Like, the whole bar was just silent while they listened to this person. And then it actually turned out we engaged the gentleman who was talking to her. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
Because he was also crazy.
You can't. You just have to find some place. And like, I sit in the corner. If I'm at gate 13, I'll walk down to gate 45 because there's no one there, and I'll sit by myself. I don't like talking to strangers at this point, and I don't like listening to their stories. Did. No,
you don't like. I
love my friends and family, but I don't like. Speaking of crazy of white people dying from crazy stuff,
hiking volcanoes.
I wanted to ask you, as a diver, those people in the Maldives. That was crazy, and what was crazy about it? They were the 5 Italians. I haven't
heard about this.
Oh gosh, yeah, it was. It's been in the news a lot. Well, you've been in Dallas. You've been working.
8 hours of conferences a day.
5 Italians in the Maldives, and they had the wrong tanks for the depths, and they only had 10 minutes of air, and they were in cave number 3, and they just all
you have no shot.
Awful way to
nitrox or something they needed.
Die. I mean, other divers went down and recovered their bodies. But all I thought of was, this is why you don't go scuba diving in the third world. I'm sure Maldives would hate to think they're the third world, but any place that's not America is the third world, and you can't trust
dive the Maldives.
But you got to bring your American scuba gear and scuba instructors, and like
they didn't.
They were Italian, so they're the third world as well. You know, and like I'm not parasailing or hang gliding in Mexico. Oh, if you go to Cancun,
the Maldives are like a place that
never
dives
going to
is in the name.
Cancun. I know
you can go to Maldives to dive.
When you go to Cancun, you have to never going to Cancun. And I'm never getting like in a boat in the third world where I have to trust this guy's cord. The houses are built with
stone. They have Catholic saint parades. So half the viewers are like, that's third world.
Yeah, but you have to look at it because you would know the more specifics as someone who dives. And I was like, wow, what an awful way to go. Because you're gonna not as worse death than the people in that submarine going to see the Titanic because that hit them so fast they didn't know they died. Right? Remember the people who were in the
that was quick.
That was quick and
running out of oxygen. I actually watched a cave diving documentary last night when I turned off my brain.
There you go.
The Australian guy who actually, that band of Australian autists who saved the Thailand kids in Thailand.
That's right. With that thing, Elon Musk invented the little thing, right? Or he came up with the capsule. Remember
he
might
have come up with the capsule, and it was like they needed an anesthesiologist who could knock these kids unconscious and swim them a mile underwater where there's no sign if one of their masks has been knocked off, and like, assuming a chance is like maybe we save a few.
Yeah.
And there was one guy who's like, I'm a cave diving anesthesiologist whose wife hates his hobby, whose kids are worried, whose father's always like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, I could save these kids. And they did.
That was remarkable. That
incredible.
Was, couldn't believe they saved like that and the miners in Chile like 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's great when you hear good stuff.
Exactly.
But I guess this guy, there's a documentary on American Airlines that he went the deepest it's ever been cave dove, and they were testing hydrogen. Because the pressure above you builds to such a level that oxygen becomes unbreathable. You can't do it. You need to mix it with other gases. Mixing things with hydrogen comes with its own risks.
Boom, boom. Exactly.
And if you're down in this cave, and like they never tested it at this pressure, it had been tested, but never at this pressure.
Yeah.
And they survived.
They survived.
But at the end, he was like, because I mean, at the end, he said, I think I've actually maybe scratched the itch.
Yeah.
Like that was what I've been searching for my whole life. And if you bring down wrong nitrox, I never cave dove. I love diving.
Yeah.
I asked a friend who's a cave diver. I said, hey, should I get into this? Because I wanted to go dive some of the cenotes in Mexico. And he said, let me put it this way. I just recovered a body, because he's a professional cave diver, from southern Florida out of these caves. And in order to find this body, I used the maps that this guy had drawn.
Oh, good Lord.
He's the expert. He made these maps, and he died. So he's like, what do you want to see in caves?
Yeah. How come no one carries like a big string, or like leaves a trail of breadcrumbs? Like, how do they always get lost in these caves? I mean, the breadcrumbs.
Probably get tangled.
I guess, but yeah, never. Well, not worried about it because I'm never going to do it. Amazing that those guys were down so deep. You know what should be there rather than a bunch of Thai boys in a cave. data centers. At that depth is where we put all, because who cares, right? No one's going to see them. No one's going to hear them.
Boil the seas.
That's
for
what
AI.
we should do is at that depth, all the data centers. Solves a lot of problems.
Not only that, the water's right there.
Water's right there.
Yeah, you just boil the sea for money. That's like what the left always said we were doing.
Yeah.
Now we're doing it.
Yeah.
And we're doing it to fight China. And also, that would be like an underground data center would be such an awesome horror movie. Like, get Danny Boyle to come in there and make like a 28 Days Later in the data center under the ocean.
Yeah. What sea monster? What sea creature
What
resurrects from the dead? Exactly. From the
you don't
depths
even need a
of
sea
hell.
monster. Like, you ever seen that awesome movie Sunlight, where they it's got the guy from Peaky Blinders and everything in it, where they're going to try to restart the sun with a spaceship, but they go crazy on the spaceship, and it's just it's worth it. It's
Sun's far. That's going to take you at least a couple days of flying. Like that's
weeks,
Yeah.
weeks and weeks. It took them enough time for somebody to go crazy and kill everyone in the crew.
Space, like caves, no interest. All this, like, we can pay for you to go.
I don't want to do that.
No interest in the slightest bit. I like watching the Artemis.
I don't want to ground cave dive.
Yeah, I watched the Artemis thing. It was very cool. Those guys were awesome. They were such likable people. Also, the four of them. Like, I've enjoyed watching interviews with them. Like, they're the best of humanity.
That dude where they're like, "What does it feel like to insert this or this or this black thing?" And he's like, "All praise to Jesus Christ." It's like, that's not the way I thought the interview was going to go.
But no desire to go to the cave they were in. Is the cave the capsule they were in is way smaller than this room, probably half the size of this room, and it's 4 people, and it was like 10 days.
Like, but if you fart, it goes right into your own helmet. Like, you can't terrorize other people in there.
Like, just not happening. It's just no. I just think that sounds like hell.
Did you hear about the Russian guy who got stabbed at the ice station for trolling one of his colleagues nonstop? Dude's like one of my favorite people of all time. Like, I love this story through and through. It's supposed to be a sad story. But
they were like in Antarctica at one of those remote posts.
Yeah, you spend like 6 months, you can't leave.
Yeah.
And this guy was like, it's very boring. So this guy keeps on reading books, and this other guy in the station keeps on reading the last page and telling him the ending. And this went on for like
6 months,
6 weeks before he got stabbed. The guy was just stabbed him. Like, this wasn't, at the end, it wasn't even a funny troll.
Yeah.
It was just like, this is how it ends.
This is exactly.
He's like, this is how you win. And then they had to get a medical expert, like a helicopter evac out there, because the guy got stabbed for trolling too hard. Like, real life shit posting.
Yeah.
Like, not on Twitter, not in the anonymous comment section.
Before you do that, you have to spend like 5 days locked up together to see if I can tolerate 6 months with this guy. Like, that's a long time to be just with
There's
one
no
other.
way.
No.
I couldn't be locked up for 6 months with anyone.
I could be by myself for 6 months.
It might be myself.
If I have some books and data centers so that I can, access the internet.
My youngest child, who's just 1.5.
Well,
I could be locked up with her for 6 months.
Yeah.
Because there's like
I hope so, because you kind of are for the next 18 years.
Kind of, yeah. But I can still, I'm still allowed outside.
Yeah.
But it's like I would need someone who's just always joyful, but not even in an irritating way.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't really want to talk. She wants me to read books because she's not really. She wants to pretend.
Does she know
I read books.
how to talk yet? I mean, she says a couple things.
These strings word, yeah. She's nonstop talking.
Oh, okay.
But
well, she's a girl.
It does sound like a lot of the residents of Northern Virginia. It's an alien tongue for sure. It's not the Queen's English.
She'll get there. She's a Bedford after all. A very elegant name.
Very.
I think we're good.
I think this was great.
This was a fun conversation. We just talked a little bit about the data centers. A lot of other stuff happened this week, but I didn't feel like talking about it. If someone else asked me about
I don't
Thomas
even know what happened this
Massey,
week.
I could but that's what every other podcast is. This is just two guys having a conversation with a cocktail and babbling. And hopefully while some guys mowing the lawn this weekend, or more likely squeegeeing the driveway this weekend, this is something they can listen to and have a little bit of fun. So
cheers.
Cheers. Good being with y'all.